Hello again, this is Old Man PHP. I create PHP video tutorials for the old guys who want to learn a new skill and compete with the young crowd. This is video 45. I added some bootstraps and a JavaScript and well actually I added 3 different CSS file using the CDN. As you can see, this particular file is not sitting on my local host, as you can see, right, from the address. This is JavaScript right here. It's called jQuery, right? It's the JavaScript, right? And then this is the Bootstrap. This is what gives me that clean look. It has a lot of different things in there. I'm going to show you in a second how you can get to it so you can see what I'm saying. This is from convert2wordpress.com. Their CSS, that's what gave us this look. You know what I mean? The brown look and everything lined up like that. And then of course this is for the front also, so you can get nice little, see that little thing there, that little plus sign, those little things come from that, right? So and you want this, a lot of things you can do a lot. So if I went like this is the actual form, the contact form that you can use. See, as you can see, you got your home, you got your about, you got your portfolio, and you got your contact. This will be sitting, like, let's say, in a separate page, and you're in the home page. It's probably showing a lot of different things, and then you can just hit contact, and then it comes to this page, right? But right now we're just using the same file, PHP test.php, right? See, like for instance, if I went here, I can see right here. See, right now I don't have a contact. I just say reach us. It kind of takes you all the way down to this one. I kind of did it this way. This is more advanced. You know, you can show your portfolio, which I haven't done. It's there, but it's displayed none, meaning that it's invisible, but it's there. And of course, you got your affiliation. I'll show you that in a bit, but right now let's just get to this. So we're here, right? So whenever we wanted to see the Bootstrap, let's say you brought it up and you say, oh, there goes the Bootstrap. Where is this, by the way? What do you call it? Remember, we call it contact because we kind of changed it over here, contact. So this is what shows right over here. As you can see, if I put my, you see contact and bad words. That's what this is, the title. All right, so like for instance, you wanted to look at this, right? How did I get there? How did I get that page? So the way to do that is you say right click, view page source, and there it is. So what happens is if you click in jQuery, you're going to get the minimize of jQuery. All JavaScript stuff will minimize, meaning that everything is all thrown together. There's no space, very hard to read. That's why they did it like that. Plus, it's good for download. When you create like heavy duty websites and you're gonna download it, you gotta go through a lot of tests to see if it's gonna take too long to download. And if it is, then you're gonna have to cut down on the actual CSS file. You maybe could combine these guys together. I mean, all this comes in play, but I'm gonna show you that on a much later video, because you know you need to be a total package in a way. All right, so let's get this out. Then of course you got your Bootstrap. It's the same thing. It's got all the stuff is minimized. It's hard to see. This one that I created, is actually sitting in that website. Look how neat that is. You can kind of see what the class names are, what the ID are. You know what I mean? It's clear. But if I wanted to make it minimize, it would definitely look like this. You understand? That's what that is. I don't know what that. All right, so let's get on with this, right? So that's what I did here. So I wanted to add that because I wanted to look kind of nice. See how nice that kind of looks? Okay, so then what happens is I created the header, right? Now the header is this from here. Header is from here to here. The nav part is this part, the nav, right? That's what that is. So what happens is I made it content fluid, meaning that in Bootstrap, when you see this as a class, that means that it goes from here to here. It makes it easy. Look, to nice, right? So what happens is, that's what happens, right? Then I included the another div, which will be kind of like right in there, like this. And then I create the UL, right? That's the thing that gives it that, because you're gonna need something like UL and this kind of thing. See that right there? This is the list right here. Unordered list, that's what they call it. So that's what you do, right? So you do this list, but we're gonna do it yet because in between, remember I told you you could put PHP between elements, and that's what's happening here, because between this element and the, where is the closing? Right here, closing one, right? That would be that. Let me see. This is how you find it easy. This is how you add a comment. Like that. Let's push this back. This is over here already. All right. So the nav is in there right there, right? All right. So then what I did was I added all these style sheets. You prefer to do these type of things instead. But because I'm teaching you how to do this stuff, makes it more it's more faster this way. So I kind of like put it in there, but never do it that way. But for development, yes. Once you get everything all complete, oh look, it works, I can't believe it, this is great. Then you can create another file, link it up like this, and put all this CSS stuff from top to bottom in that order into that file. Then you come this way here, where is it, where are we? And just get rid of it. Just go like this and get rid of it. But for now, we're not doing that because we're using it, right? So that's how that works. Now we're going to put that PHP right within this, and then we're going to create a function, right, that calls my menu, name my menu. I created an array, an associated array, because you can tell by the rocket ship right here. This will be the name. Look, home, about us, portfolio, contact, and that's what you see, right? Home. But if you hit it, as you can see, I want you to take a look at it, this little section right here. Once I put the cursor on the home, see, that gives you to the, takes you to the home page, the about us page, portfolio page, and the contact page. But in reality, since I'm teaching you this PHP test PHP, it is a contact form, and that's how that works, right? So you're gonna put this there. Then you're gonna make you're gonna create another variable. You're gonna make it a null because you want to create one, but you don't want to put anything in it. Then you run this my var a. What happens is, to read an array, remember what we talked about? You can use the for each, much easier. Then you say as, and they say key and value pair. This is the key and value pair. So when you have an associated, you do this. If you didn't, you just take all this out, just keep the key. All right, you've seen that already. Now the for each is going to go through this. It's going to read this one first, put it up, read this one next, put it up, read this one, put it up, read this one, and put it up. This is what this is doing. But at the same, when you're doing this, look, see that dot equal time? That means assign it to it. Don't make this like a fresh. If I would have taken this up, you will only see contact right up here. Let me see. See, contact. But you want to add those other things in there, so it's going to read it. And that's it. What I did was I put a borderline of a red solid line just so you can see it. You know what I mean? You don't have to do that, but in reality, you don't do that. But you're doing this for training, okay? So what happens is so remember, this is whole thing here from here to here, it's UL. The inside stuff from here to here, from here to here, here to here, it's an LI. That's what this is, LI. And within the LI, of course, you got an A anchor, href, And that's what these things are, and this is what you see over here when I put the cursor right on it. Then, because we'll go to that first one, you saw that first one, then it's going to go right back again, do this one, then you see it puts it up there again, then it's going to go right back up and put this one on, right back up and put this one on, and you get your whole folder. And this is dynamically. This is putting this dynamically. You can even put these things in. You can put these things in databases too. I mean, this is like when you really want to get into real heavy duty contact stuff that you PHP stuff that you can do all this craziness. But for now, this is pretty good. So you read it, does that, right? And then it prints it out. Well, after you have done creating it, this here is what gives you that whole thing in one shot. All right? Then you get out and it says, oh, my menu. I'm going to run my menu, and that's what does it. Remember, when you do this, let me put it. From here to here, it's only declaration. It's not doing anything. Only this, when you do this, like call this, like this is the invocation. This is what invokes it, runs it, and that's what gives you this whole thing. Now we're going to keep going down the line, right? Look, we closed it up because we did have it open outside of this. Where are we? Where did we go? Right here. So you now from the outside, look, outside of the PHP, that's how you end it, right? With this little question mark and greater than. Then you say nav, right? That's part of, you got your div, because that's part of the div. Remember you had header, nav, and div, right? So you gotta get rid of, you gotta do div, close div up, close the unordered list first, then you close the div, close the nav, and then close the, this we could kind of put, where is it, on the second, we can kind of push that over, like right there. This one we could kind of push it a little bit, this one, like that. Okay, then you end the header, right? So all this right here, from here to there, that's all. Now we got this section here. This is another section. As you can see, it's a little darker, this one and that. This little section, I did that. So this section goes all the way to here. So what happens is you can do that. Then I created a div that gives you the name of the contact div list, right? This is only if I want it to fade in and out, like if I want this to pop in from the sides. But I will have to put the JavaScript underneath to get that to work. But I put it in there just in case. Then you got your item scope, the item type, these type of things. These are the schema. This is the pipe. These things that you put in all kinds of a div, depends on what section that you're on. You create different types of schema. You got to go to a website called schema.org. That gives you all kinds of ways. So, oh, this is a thing that if this would have been like numbers, you'll tell, oh, this is a number or a string, some kind of thing. If you add all these things, this what helps with the Google search, with all the search engines. It's just telling them, hey, it's like more information, meta information to let the search engine about what's going on with your page. Then of course you got your H1, that's the header. We got header 1 through, I'm going to show you that too. We got header 1 through 6, I believe. And that gives you this header 1, makes it big like that. And this one is a smaller one, right? So it gives you this one, smaller one. See, it's smaller than that one. That's your H2. Then if you put this as H3, it will be smaller and smaller. This P means paragraph. Every time you see like a bunch of stuff like that, that's a paragraph. From here to here is a paragraph. So let's say, where is it? Here and here's a paragraph. Here and here is a paragraph. Then you have another one, because I made these into list stuff, right? So what not that, list things right here. I made them into lists, but I also did inline, so it could be like this, inline. Otherwise it would have been stacked. It would say Facebook and then LinkedIn. Anyway, So I kind of did that, and now of course you put your A anchor and you put your stuff right where you want this to. When you click on it, you want it to go to Facebook, right? This is the class telling it to give you this nice looking round window. If I change this to, let's say, primary, which is also part of Bootstrap, it'll show it to you like this, blue. I mean, it's nice if you had a white background. So I kind of just kept that as standard. If you said like, there's other ones too, like, let's go back like this. Default. I can show you that in another video about all this Bootstrap stuff. So, and it's also a button, right? You want a large button. I don't want it large. That's what this stands. You don't want a large button. That's what that is. And you got the medium, which is MD, and then you got the XS, which is like real small. Then, you know, you got your spam, right? The spam is just right, anything that's right next to each other. It doesn't jump down to a separate line. It says it just print this right next to each other. That's what that is. Then you got your OR, of course. I did that right there. And then, of course, you're going to mention everything. And now you got your form. See? Contact, form. This is going nowhere. If you hit the contact, it's just going to go back to that page, to the same page. Because it's not going there. This is an ID. For it to work, you have to kind of put the PHP file right in there. Then you got your row, meaning that it's going to be like a row, 1, 2 rows, second, third row, fourth row, like that. Then this form group is just groups the form, just groups these guys together. That's all it is. It's just to give it. It's like more like housekeeping, keeping things together. And that way, when the search engine reads this file, it's gonna know this is part of this group. This stuff is part of this group. Now this right here is telling me I want you to split it. Usually the biggest one they have is like this column. This time we're using medium, but you can use like large, and you're going to say large, and then 12 like that. That means that you want the whole thing, everything, you know, take it from here to here. But in this situation, we're taking it from here to right here. And then we're starting another division from here to here. That's what the 6 means. Got it? 6 plus 6 is 12. You can even break it down even more. See, as you can see, 12. That would do the whole thing. I added some IDs, of course, some divs. This is the key. This is the one that's giving you this box. This input stuff is this here. The other input right here is the enter name. Remember, hey, how do you get this thing inside here? This enter name. Well, you put it in. You go like this and you say placeholder, enter name. You can even say value, but when you try typing into it, it'll end up being like you did something like this. Enter name. It'll come up like that, right? And so then let's say you're here, and then you go, okay, let me go here. Oh, it's behind it. That means I gotta take this out and add my thing, right? Jack, whatever. But by doing like this, it's automatically, you can type over it. You know what I'm talking about. You've seen this before. It's nothing new, right? So then you come over here and you do the same thing. This is text, which is this whole thing. Text. You can even, look, you can even fix it the way you want it. You know what I mean? It's kind of cool though. Let's leave it over here like this. Oh, let's shoot it up a bit. Right, so that's what that is. And then, of course, you're going to say row. I want number 5 rows. That's it. I don't want nothing else. That means from here to here is 5 rows. That's all it means. Then, of course, you put these little labels. You can put the labels underneath it. Enter your message. or you can put it in here as a placeholder. I sort of figured to show you what it kind of looks like. Oh, look, an example. This is how you're supposed to do it. If you would have put it all wrong and you would hit submit, it would have ran through its process. The stuff that I've shown you before, the protection stuff, remember how it gets the input file, sanitizes, validation, all that stuff? It will do that, and it'll give you a message over here saying there's a problem with your email, whatever it is. We could even put the message inside. Anyway, and the submit button, of course, submits the form. Then you get to the status. In case there's a problem, you get a status thing here. And then that's it. Now we're going to see, this is all HTML. And of course, this part right here is HTML, but it's also built by PHP. Now we're going to use JavaScript. Script is JavaScript. So we're going to go like this. Like that. JavaScript section. And that's how you do it. So now in here, as you can see, the below function is one that gets rid of all the unwanted words, like bad words, you know what I mean? Let's make this one even. And then the function, normally you would put a lot of this stuff inside function.php. So we didn't have to do this part. So it sends the object to that, and that contains the bad words from the option table. If this would have been put in an option table, you don't need to see this stuff really. You don't. We can take that out. And then you say you can add bad words. You can add bad words and paragraph and add to the variable. And the way to do that, meaning that, in other words, when you have gotten this set up in your form, because this is a form page, right? As you can see, it's a form page, right? So what you do is you create a jQuery function, and this one's going to say that on click on the keyboard. In other words, that, see this right here, this is actually JavaScript, but it's written in a jQuery style. So they took this thing called, let's say, key up, and it made it into a function. So when you hit the key up, it's going to know what the key is going to do for you. It'll do something for you. What that key up means, that means that if I went like this and I hit F, now that I hit it, right? But my hand and my finger is still pointing to the F. But if I pull it out, that's it, it's no longer there. The pressure of the F is no longer there, and that's what this does. It says the moment you click on it and you're going to start typing to the other letters, and it sees, wait a minute, see, this is a function, right? An anonymous function, doesn't have a name. So this particular jQuery finds this. It looks for this guy. So if we go on top, it finds it where it is. Here he goes. Finds him. See? This is what he finds. So he says, oh, look, I found it. Oh, you're going to type within that box, which is here. You're going to type in here, like this. You're going to type in here. So then it does that, right? Okay. So within that function, you're going to do, let's take this out. Within that function, you're going to create variables. We're going to call it do not, I mean, it's any word, anything you like that will remind you of what you're doing. This will be the length for do not array type things, like Dick Clark. Remember that Dick Clark guy? The reason why I said that's because that word that's in front of it, you know what I'm saying, pornographic, you know what I mean? So I don't want to really say it because YouTube, they'll cancel me. Anyway, so what happens is you create these variables, right? Then you're going to create another variable with an array, and you're going to put here all kinds of stuff. I mean, you could say, I don't want to say anything, but let's say Dick Clark. We're going to say Apple. What else? So, something, we could take this out. We call it orange. Maple leaf, these are bad words. Maple leaf was selling. This is an ad. You can also add ads into this, but let's say it's like that. Let's take away clock and we just keep it as Mr. Dick, Richard, you know. Okay, so then you're gonna do the length. What's the length of this? That's what this is. Puts it in here. Then of course you're gonna say get element by ID, which is that, right? This form right here. Get element by ID. I want you to get this. And then what happens is you're gonna do the for loop because it's gonna check each letter. And it's gonna check that. If there's a problem, let's say, because you can say DIC, and let me see, let me show you, what the heck. Let's say you say DIC, that's it. Why isn't it going away? That's a bad word, but it ain't, it's not part of the list. But if you add a K, let's say if you did take it out, save it, and you put DIC, look, it takes it away. If you put DICK, well, if I can't. I try to beat it, but it won't. The K ended up being there for Dick. So what do? You add another one. So you go like this. And we'll make it K like this. See, you're going to see this anyway. It's going to beat me anyway. It's going to beat me to it. Watch. But I can't do K. So that's why you got to know what to do and all that. But bad words, there's always going to be a different bad word, right? I'm going to say ASS, let's say. So when you do this, DIC, it still does it, right? Because it look like this. Oh, wait a minute. We need to fresh. Then we say, let's say apple. And I put E, boom, gone. If I say, what's that word again? Dick. That's in dick clock. Oops, sorry, that's disk. It goes away. If I put in DIC, DICASS, boom, gone. See, this, what happened, what I did here was I validated it. But instead of going through like, okay, let's go check it out more with PHP and then go right back out, why don't we just stop it before it gets anywhere? Right here in that first level. And that's what this whole thing does. All you need to do right here, add all, oh, here it goes right here. You can add pornographic, I mean, this, actually we can do this. And just put it over here. We don't need this doesn't work here. Boom, right here. You can add bad words, pornographic or AD to the object variable for checking. How about that? For checking. And if you did that, it'll check it for you. And let's say if you put orange here, let's say orange, boom, away. See how fantastic that is? It goes through the process, it looks at that field and it breaks it down. It checks word for word. See, if this str is includes in here, get it? If this is included in that, in here, where is it? Right here. And that's what does it. And when it sees that it is true, put a blank on there. Then focus right back. Well, that's it. We reached the end. I hope you like it. I mean, look, this is a fantastic thing. I'm gonna give it to you. I'm gonna put it in a link down below in the description, so that way you can go grab it. This way you can cut paste to a file in your side, or take the actual link and save it. Because you know why? That particular place where I'm gonna put, I gotta put most of that video stuff that I created here on YouTube. It's gonna go there too. I'm going to keep it all lined up in one place. Okay, so I hope you did enjoy it. I mean, it was a little tricky there for a little bit, but At least you understand what I'm talking about. Yeah, it was winded. I talked a lot. But I just wanted you to remember, when I do these videos, I don't do it just like an instructor teaching a student. We're doing it like, with a script, this is what it's supposed to be. No, I want to have a conversation with you. By me and you having a conversation with each other, we're learning. I'm teaching you the stuff and you're picking. Well, let me get that out. Where is it? You see it? Where is it? It's right over here. You see it? We got Facebook. How did that get there? Friends. Have you seen it? Where the hell is it? Oh, here it goes. Take it out. Fresh. There you go. And of course you can put it here. Here you can say bad words, but you can have that same setup for right in here. That same setup for right in here. I probably will write something for you because I don't know if you're a JavaScript guy because you're here in the course learning PHP. I will probably add that too and make it in a way that if you got another input box that will also search that input box without having to do all this. We'll probably put this in a, well, it is a function, but we'll probably put it in another, and we're going to put something in here so that way you can take that and use that to replace this right here. Okay? Yeah, we're going to do that. Probably I'll show it to you in another video. And I'll add it into a link. Like I told you, it's going to be in the website. It's going to be a bunch of links. Grab it from there. It's going to be great, easy. We don't have to go through all this crazy thing about going to a box and going to this and going to that to drop it down. No, we're going to make it easy for you to get this information. Okay, man. So, again, we reached the end. Please hit the like button. Subscribe to my channel, and this helps me grow my channel. Until next time, a good night.